Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Video Game Choo-Choo podcast. I'm just going to warn you right now, everybody, this is probably going to be a Pokemon episode.
Oh, no!
Right? You're just going to have to deal with it. This was a Pokemon-ass week, so I hope everyone is prepared for that. If you don't want to listen to something about Pokemon this week, too bad. Just keep listening. I don't care.
So there's this move that you do pretty much every single couple of minutes in Ring Fit Adventures, the workout game for the Switch, where you put the Ring Fit against your ab, and this is how you like defend yourself against attacks. It's called an ab guard, and so basically you just shove the ring into your like stomach and block attacks, and you just have to hold it there. You have to hold it while flexing your abs through every enemy's attacks until they're all done with their attacks. Basically, that's kind of what this podcast feels like every week, is like 2 hours of just like squatting and flexing and hoping to God I don't take enough psychic damage to get knocked out of the fight.
So that's the Solon.
Hey, that's Video Game Choo-Choo in a nutshell.
Yeah, you know, we're just trying to deal with the everyday struggles of gamers, because it's fucking crazy to do.
Oh God, speaking of struggles and the upcoming struggle of the Video Game Choo-Choo, your entire Northwest segment is about to go under snowpocalypse, and so I hope you're ready for the winter blizzard that is going to be 2.5 inches of snow that is absolutely going to wipe out your entire Northwest segment.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Spencer, how are you doing?
Apparently I'm going to be snowed in next week, so I'll get back to you on that. Anyway,
Surprise!
What's up, everybody? I love, my favorite thing about being on the podcast is no matter who I'm with, like somebody always just immediately goes buck wild off the rails, and I just sit here back for like 2 full minutes not saying a thing, and then like someone has to awkwardly go, oh yeah, Spencer's also here, and I'm just like, hi.
What are you talking about, Spencer? I give you this perfect, like, hey, Northwest Quadrant, you know who that is? That's you and me, man!
I know, but
that's us!
I like just being a presence that has to be acknowledged. It's nice.
I don't want you to be a present, Skull. I want to lift you up and be like, this is Skull. He is so good at Final Fantasy 14. He can do the entire 1 to 50 grind in one sitting in like 12 hours.
Like 18 hours.
Jesus!
Yeah, like
do you all know how good Skull is at video games? And you played some video games today, and we're gonna talk about it later, but like Rose was like, oh God, Skull, you're done already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get into it.
I just want to. You are so deep in the wackiness. You just need to let it out. You need to let yourself bathe in the whack.
Solon, choose your words a little more carefully, please.
Yeah, I don't want to bathe in anybody's whack. So, Pokemon? Do we want to start there, or do we want to talk about some other things? What are you feeling?
I think we should get the other stuff out of the way first.
Okay.
Because yeah, let's. If you really don't want to listen to Pokemon talk, you can listen to this part, and then we'll go into Pokemon in a bit. So I guess real quick, Spencer, why don't you tell us what you've been up to? Because it's been a hot minute since you've been on. What have you been playing lately?
So I've been playing 2 games in this new decade of ours. Minesweeper is the first one. I've rekindled my fascination with Minesweeper, and it's what a bastard game, to be honest.
What? Sorry, I shouldn't laugh because that's great. That's fantastic. That's 2020. We're coming back to Minesweeper.
Maybe we shouldn't be coming back to Minesweeper because it is still the bastard game that we all knew and hated growing up, when we all had when we were all kids and we could only get access to our parents' computers or our grandparents' computers or our cousins' computers or wherever, and then it's the only games they had on there was the Microsoft Space Cadet Pinball.
Yep, I was just about to say.
Which is a good game.
Solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
Or Free Cell or Hearts, if you knew what you were doing.
Ugh.
You're listing good games here.
I mean, yeah, but also, let's be honest, these were not, first picks for games you would want to play on the computer. These were just kind of this is all we have, so we got to make do, which leads me to Minesweeper, which was my favorite of those types of games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just... it is what it is. Like, there isn't really much to say about Minesweeper, I feel, that hasn't already been said by countless other people. But the thing that that's been sticking with me the whole time is the thing that holds Minesweeper back from being like a perfect game like Tetris is that eventually, at some point, you're going to be forced to make a coin toss decision as to which block has the mine in it. And it will fuck you up every time.
You're always going to be wrong. And the thing about it is that Minesweeper knows that, so they make sure that both options are wrong, and the other option is always right.
Yep. It is a true bastards game. So
how would you fix that, though? Like, do you, like, you give the, like, player extra lives or something? Like, hey, you're allowed to make that coin flip and screw up, like, twice.
I mean, I feel like Minesweeper is a good template to iterate on. And
not many people have, though, I feel like.
There's a few games out there that have done it. My roommate's been playing one called Demon Crawl. It seems pretty neat.
What?
Yeah. It's basically like Minesweeper, but you go through like little like roguelike dungeons of Minesweeper, and then like you can get like power-ups and stuff. But much like Minesweeper, that one is a huge bastard game where you can just get completely fucked on a run.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah. That's what a lot of people go to like roguelites for anyway, so you know, it all checks out.
I mean, it is totally, accurate. You're sweeping mines. It's all or nothing.
But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of room for iteration that people haven't fully explored yet. But like Minesweeper normal is just it's mostly just like a good way to just mindlessly pass the time and press like blocks. So, and
see, me, I'm wondering where does that come from that there hasn't been iteration on specifically like the Minesweeper brand? Because I've been watching GDQ and they've done a bunch of Tetris over the years. There's a lot of different types of Tetris. They did Pac-Man today, and that was like one of the first times I've ever explored like different Pac-Man games. And those iterated a lot on what Pac-Man can be as just a maze runner that you go just cardinal directions, super simple. But Minesweeper, all I can think of is the movie Minesweeper.
Oh god,
which
I forgot
isn't
about that.
Technically an iteration, but it does have the same name.
I forgot about that entirely.
There was, when we were growing up, there was Solitaire was the only thing on your mom's computer, but then eventually we got Windows 98, I think, and then they had Spider Solitaire. And that was a huge up.
Yeah, Spider Solitaire
easy.
Rules.
Where's Spider Minesweeper? Also, add spiders to Minesweeper. Holy shit!
Put spiders in Minesweeper. Everybody's like, put so-and-so in Smash. No, put so-and-so in the Minesweeper. We could be having all these Minesweeper crossover games.
We cracked the code!
Now, if only I could...
We need crossovers of all the Microsoft games. Like, we need the fucking, like, Lunar Pool or Lunar Pinball guy to show up in, like, Solitaire.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He should be on the cards. That would be really cool.
Yeah, we got the MCU of Microsoft PC shit. Oh man! Oh wait a minute! They all have to travel to the fucking screensaver with the labyrinth. They have to go through that.
Oh, with the rats. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, they got to travel through that.
Do they go through the asteroids one also at some point?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some really good visualizer ones, but maybe I'm thinking of Macintosh computers where there were like the pipes that would come out and they would like go inwards and outwards, and I would stare at that forever.
Oh, it's so good.
That one and like the polygons that had the that like echoed really, like they had long tails and trails that they would leave.
Yep. Wow, we're getting into real 90s kid territory here.
Okay, while we're here, is this like maybe this is a Macintosh thing, but I had like there's like this fever dream thing that I grew up with that I've never been able to find ever again. But there was this suite of games that had a ball bouncing game where a ball would bounce in a square and you would like have the field that it could bounce on, but if you clicked too early and the ball hit your like having device, it would cancel out that entire like move you're trying to make, and it would like do you know what I'm talking about here? Am I losing my mind? And then the goal was to trap a ball into that's like bouncing back and forth like the little DVD screensaver, and it would you tried to trap it by having the field that it's bouncing in over and over and over without it hitting your line that you're trying to use to have the plane with. Don't know what this is. See, this is what I'm saying, is like, this was a wild game I grew up with. I have no idea what it is. It was in the same mix as like Ski Free and what else was there? There was like a dungeon crawling game where you had like red and blue and yellow and green keys that you had to open up blocks with.
Oh yeah, okay, I know that one.
Something's
Chips
a
Challenge.
Chips Challenge. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a Macintosh thing. We were a Microsoft family, which
I only played this at school.
actually I don't want to be known as being part of a Microsoft family.
We were a Microsoft family. We were
Like-
printed in
like-
Bill Gates's manufacturing plants.
It's a little too real.
I'll find
Anyway.
this game, but
I've
yeah.
had success finding other games that I've like remembered from my childhood. Like after school, sometimes my dad worked at a fire station, and after school, sometimes he would have to like pick me up and like take me to his work because my mom was still working. And they had like two arcade cabinets. They had Mortal Kombat and the one really good NBA game whose name escapes me, NBA Jam.
NBA Jam? Yeah, Hang Time? That kind of thing?
Yeah. But they also had like a Sega Genesis and stuff. And one of the games I remember playing in there was like a game that I really liked because it was like you had like an RPG party of like basically Power Rangers because they were all color coordinated. And I found out later it was one of the earlier Phantasy Star games. And I was like, oh, cool. Because that game like was like gnawing at the back of my mind for the longest time. And I was able to like go through an entire catalog bit by bit of like old RPGs. And it's like, I know this game exists. And I was able to find it. So,
Okay, I found it.
Oh, did you find it?
This was part of Windows Entertainment Pack. There was Chips Challenge, there was Free Cell and Pipe Dream, and
Yeah, Pipe Dream.
there was Ski Free, and there was a game called Jezzball.
I don't think we're that kind of podcast.
Can you spell that for me?
Jezzz ball. Jizzball.
All right.
That's you. Just look at
I'm looking at it.
It's a wild game. Anyway, that's the 90s. That is all of it in that one. It was a Windows Entertainment Pack. That's where it all came from.
Wow.
I don't know how you explain that game, but it was like legitimately the only like action game. It wasn't a puzzle game. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta think about things. It was like you had to react immediately. And it wasn't Ski Free, which I didn't understand as a kid.
I don't think I understand Ski Free as an adult.
It's idle tech. It's something that you just play over and over that has an immediate and stark and silly ending. And the idea is that you just kind of go down the different slopes in Ski Free, that some of them you do tricks and some of them you try to go quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not supposed to last long, and it's supposed to always end in death.
Yeah, it sure is.
Huh. I think we have a genre nowadays. We call it gotcha games.
I was going to say roguelikes, but okay.
I was going to say Dark
Roguelike.
Souls.
I mean, both yours are the correct answers. Mine is taking the piss out of everyone answer.
You know what? We all live in Ski Free every day.
Well, you and me are going to be living in Ski Free next week. So
No, not 2.5 inches of snow. Are you kidding me?
Wah. All right. Solon, is there anything you want to talk about? Because I know you didn't play too many games, but there's some news stuff that you could discuss. What's going on over there?
Oh yeah, did you hear about the PS5? They announced the logo. It's have you ever seen the PS4 logo?
Yes.
I have seen every PlayStation logo so far.
Okay, well then you know exactly what I'm talking about. They added a 5 to it.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so it's the PS4 5?
No. They got the 4 out of there. They got that part. They like took that section and they got it out.
They removed the 4. All right, so now it just says PS. What does that mean?
They stuck the 5 right where the 4 was.
Oh, that means PlayStation 5.
They're doing the 5th one.
Oh shit.
I'm debating whether I should join in on this bit or if I really don't like it. I'm like,
Yeah, the internet gave a squelching sound largely to the news. But there was a little good thing that came out of that, though. And that was that we actually have like official high-res logos that are in black and white, which is just, as a website that covers video games, is structurally helpful. So thank you, Sony.
Yeah, if we get back into doing news, we can use those again. I will say, though, it was especially funny because I saw that apparently the PS5 logo was the most popular video game post on Instagram ever. Like, just people liking it and commenting on it.
What?
So,
like, it beat Kim K?
Well, video games specifically.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it beat, like, celebs or anything like that, but I think specifically video game posts.
That makes perfect sense, because that is the intersection of, like, Instagram is all about bleeding tech news, and a PS5 logo is good enough.
Is it? I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, as far as the type of people that are posting on Instagram, it's not like games enthusiasts in specific genres. Like, you can't build, it's not as easy to build communities around, like, oh, all right, we're going to have the Pokemon community here. No, it's like a bunch of people are going to post their newest Pogo catches in a big mass.
Sure.
And you can follow that on a hashtag, which isn't really a community. It's a curation, right? So bleeding tech games news is kind of the one thing that hits all of those people all at once. And that, I guess that means the logo is, that's so weird. Congrats, Sony.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre thing. It's such a bizarre thing.
Because otherwise, you'd like, what would compete with that would be like a single game, and that wouldn't hit everyone because not everyone likes every game. But what if a single post contained all games? I
mean, I guess just the competition would be the Xbox, like just the picture of the console, I guess. But I mean, I don't know if people are getting that, like, advertised to them, Like, maybe that's why it's so popular. Like, people are just scrolling down their feeds, they see the PS5 logo, and then they're like, oh, I like that. I think you've got a really good point, because we are in a place where we can directly compare Xbox leaking their info or announcing their new console and PS5 announcing their new console at the same time, where I am very sure people are not nearly as inspired by a generic logo that is kind of funny, to box. Big, Titanus black box that just kind of consumes my desires in a way that just leaves me wanting so much more.
Are you talking about the Series X?
The Series X, every time I look at it, I fall asleep.
I want it to have levitation properties, and then I want it to, like, levitate directly above, like, 4 feet above me when I'm sleeping. That's where it belongs, to be honest.
Is there going to be the Xbox is going to provide the killer sleep app?
Look, I need it 4 feet directly above me when I sleep, so I know that it's protecting me, and also I know that it's safe and where it belongs.
A give and take relationship. Yeah. I see.
I mean, that's not just Microsoft there. That's all of them.
Yeah. It's all of us. That's all of us.
Jesus. Yeah, speaking of the Xbox, they also announced their own update, to counteract the PS5 announcing the greatest post ever, and that's the logo that is PS5. The Xbox announced that they're not doing first-party games for the first 2 years of their launch. First, they announced 1 to 2 years, which could just as well mean 3 years. They have no plans for exclusives. They want devs to just keep doing what they want. I assume that means that they're going to keep filling out their portfolio for the Xbox Game Pass. They're just going to put all their eggs in that basket, which is...
It's a good basket. It's a really nice basket.
Big basket. But that's not really something that really inspires a lot of people, especially when we know historically that what drives console sales is exclusives. Or at least that's the what is the ancestral knowledge? No, what's the word? Wives' tale? No, that doesn't sound right. That's just how the status quo has kind of led us to believe.
Just the history.
That's just the history
of it all.
Well, the times they are changing. So, and like John said, it's a really good basket to put all their eggs in. And like, I mean, it's called Series X, which brings to mind the idea that this is going to be iterated upon, and so maybe they won't have the exclusives because, well, one, like, how many properties can you think of that are like iconically first party Microsoft?
Halo, Gears,
Farza.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, Forza.
Okay. Like, and those are all like really strong games. Like, I wouldn't say any of those are like nothing games that nobody's heard about, but maybe they just want to focus on like the actual development of the hardware and the software of the system itself before they're like, all right, let's start putting in let's start contracting out developers to get exclusives working. So I don't know. There's
definitely a
decision.
There's a path forward that makes this generation that is coming up a little different of a shape than previous generations.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be better or worse. Just it is shaped differently where I'm sure that we're going to start seeing more exclusivity midway through the generation as opposed to all up front trying to force a bunch of stuff out. That makes sense in a way. Yeah.
I mean, I'm down for change.
Yeah, I'm always down for change. Let's see here. A little interesting bit of news here. Tencent, the gigantic Chinese internet and media company that owns like everything, threw some money around recently, and interestingly, it wasn't to purchase anything. It was just to like help them out. So on Platinum Games' website, their CEO Kenichi Sato said that Tencent is partnering with Platinum to basically just give them money, but Platinum says that they will not be purchased by Tencent. They are still an independent company.
Huh.
And they're basically just going to continue doing what they're doing, but they just made money. They just got a bunch of money.
Did they sell some of their shares to Platinum? Is that how that works?
I don't know. It just says they got an infusion of cash.
Whoa!
So, yeah, it just, I think Tencent just said, hey, we like what you're doing. Here's a couple $1 million. All right.
This is my only point of entry into any kind of business, especially game dev biz. But I'm just imagining Seto Kaiba coming down in a helicopter with a briefcase full of money. And then explaining to Mokuba how he now has 51 shares of a 100-share company by flaying out all of his cards. That is everything I know about biz dev.
Sure, but again, this really seems like Tencent isn't trying to buy them. They're not trying to own any part of them. They just gave them money. They said that Kenichi Sato said that this will strengthen their foundation as a business and expand from game development into exploring self-publishing. Because they've been talking recently about wanting to self-publish their games so they can own their own IPs, because they don't really own any of the games that they work on. Like right now they're working on Babylon's Fall, which is a Square Enix game. They're working on Bayonetta 3, which is a Nintendo game. They're working on World of Demons, which is a DNA game that's a mobile game. Like, I guess they're also doing like that remaster of Bayonetta and Vanquish, which like original Bayonetta and Vanquish are owned by Sega. Like, they don't really own any of their own stuff. Like there's, you know, you think like Bayonetta 2, that's Nintendo, Wonderful 101, Astral Chain, those are all Nintendo. It's just, you know, it's very much just they want to have their own stuff.
Yeah, that's some complex levels of business that I didn't quite understand until you said it like that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this seems like a good thing for Platinum. I hope that this lets them, you know, make games how they want to make them. And, you know, like, I mean, they very much seem to be doing what they want to do, but this will also let them iterate how they want to iterate and not have to, like, wait for Nintendo to let them make Bayonetta 3 or, you know, just anything else. Like, it can be all up to them.
They're a notoriously flexible company, so that does make sense.
Yeah.
How do you feel then about Tencent throwing more money around? Especially, like, why don't they just do this to everyone at this point?
I mean, yeah, I think they should just do this in general. I would love for just companies to just get money to do what they want and to be more independent. That would be very cool.
What do you think they're doing with it? They want Tencent. Tencent wants Platinum.
They're paying their developers. That's all I care about with this regard.
I don't think I've heard anything too bad about how Platinum is run. Platinum seems like they're doing their own thing, so, you know, I hope they're using it for developers and not just giving their CEOs a pay raise, but again, if they're focusing these efforts, this money on like keeping their own IPs, I think that would help with developer like control of the company, and that would help with not having to answer to other people, so they'll probably have an easier time working on stuff. At least that's what I hope.
I think they're making a new console.
You think Tencent's making a console now?
They're starting to shop out. They're gonna make a box. They're gonna make a computer.
I mean, you're saying that, but they are helping Nintendo put the Switch out in China.
There's literally no precedence for Tencent manufacturing.
I kind of feel like they don't need to, because they could just,
they're a media conglomerate.
They don't have to spend any money. They just have to help put Switches out there. That's all they got to do.
Textbox.
Yeah, if they're gonna continue to throw around money, I hope the people they throw it at are gonna be nice to their staff. So, and I also haven't heard any ill things about Platinum Games. I'm willing to say like, okay, they're gonna like do good things with this money, but hard to trust corporations and companies in 2020 as it has been for the last forever. Anyway,
yeah, it's like that.
I'm just glad that the situation is they gave them money and then just left. They literally just like set Okaiba down, gave the money, walked away.
It's very funny.
Big brother, why don't you just buy them outright if you have more money than God?
Because, Mokuba, I want them to make Bayonetta 3, but I don't care about any of getting my hands dirty.
Wow, you're so cool, big brother.
You know it. Let's hope it comes out this year. Kaiba would love Bayonetta.
Oh, yeah. It's got a lot of dragons and
it's got a lot of dragons, and I bet Bayonetta reminds him of one of his cards, Gyako Tenno Megami.
My
he would think about that.
You were a nerd.
Yep,
that was impressive.
I mean, I know exactly the card he's talking about, so I'm not innocent here.
I didn't even know. I thought his entire deck was Blue Eyes.
No. He does get there's like a lady person Blue Eyes though.
The priestess, the priestess with eyes of blue.
Priestess with eyes of blue.
Or I think that's her name, something like that. Yeah, that's like that card is based on like in the anime. There's like a lady that he falls in love with, and she's like in like ancient Egypt, like his like past self fell in love with a lady who is basically the priestess with eyes of blue, and then like she like helped summon the blue eyes or something like that. Anyway, yes, I am a gigantic nerd. All right, let's move on.
John.
Skull, what else have you been up to?
Crosscode and nothing but basically for the last few days. I'm on chapter 10. I think I'm almost done. I'm just wrapping. I've just been running around wrapping up some side quests and miscellaneous stuff because I got that mission that you always get at the end of every like game. That's like, hey, get ready to do the big finale thing. If you want to here's the point of no return. If you want to go and do stuff up, you should go do stuff up. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go do stuff up.
You're going to do every stuff up.
So that's basically all I've been doing. Crosscode is a very, very solid, very good game.
It reminds me of Dot Hack, but like it's not Japanese, which helps me a lot. It's also extremely good.
It makes me want to like watch all the Dot Hack stuff because I did watch Dot Hack Sign. And then like tried to continue and was like, I'm completely lost here.
Dot Hack is a really good idea and concept, and lots of parts of it are really, really good, but it is always translated to English to me, and there's a little bit that is lost in translation that never makes it feel very genuine. It's like there's like a little plastic sheen over it that kind of makes things feel fake-ish.
Well, the other thing is like with Dot Hack, like a lot of those like stories that are like they take place inside of like a game world, like an MMO, they do not understand how MMOs work.
Yeah.
A big example is like Sword Art Online. Like you pick any season from Sword Art Online, there's something missing from how they perceive like how online games are, and maybe like it's more of like an idealistic interpretation in some cases where it's like this is what we want MMOs to be like, but it's not what they are. And the fun thing about Crosscode is like it takes place in the future, like space travel is a thing, but the MMO culture is still like, it's very much still like what it always was. Like, you have characters in it who are talking about like, when's the next update coming out. There are characters that you can find that are called like XX Luigi Mario. There's a boss. There's an optional boss. Is it optional? No, it's actually a mandatory boss. There's a mandatory boss in Crosscode. So like, you're familiar with like sloths, right?
Yeah, I'd say I'm familiar with sloths.
Okay, so
yeah, the animal.
Okay, so in Crosscode, some of the enemies are just kind of like, it's a hedgehog, but we're going to call it a hedge hag because that's what video games do. They just take the animal and they do a funny word pun with it.
Yep.
So with like the sloths, they combine the word behemoth and sloth to make Behemoth. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
And that's fine. The boss version of the Behemoth is called Cephasloth. And it has a giant fucking laser katana. It straight up is just literally a Sephiroth reference, but he's a giant fucking sloth robot.
Cephasloth.
And it's fucking great. It's a good game. It understands.
That is pretty funny.
It understands MMOs. My only problems with it is that sometimes, due to its art style, it's a great art style, it is hard to figure out like which jumps are possible when doing like the exploratory stuff. So like there have been like a couple times where I've had to look up what to do, and it turns out like, oh, I have to make a jump that I didn't think was possible because the perspective is messing with me because what is depth perception?
Yep. Especially in a top-down game.
And the other unfortunate thing is like Crosscode wants to tell a very specific story with a very specific character, which is why you're not able to choose your class in this MMO. But I really would wish I could have picked like the other classes to play because they seem fun. So, but yeah, it's a great game.
That's how they get you for Crosscode too.
Oh fuck, I would be so down for that. But yeah, like as an MMO player, it is very true to how MMOs work. Like even down to like the gameplay. Like there was this one side quest I did, and it was like a series of side quests, and I finished like all 3 of the side quests with this guy. And every time I'd go there, like the player character Leia, however you pronounce it, she can't like speak in this MMO where everybody can actually speak, and there's also no text chat, so she kind of just has like a small list of words, which is a really funny way of like having a silent protagonist who's not like actually silent but is just like diegetically unable to speak. But anyway, like she's talking to this NPC, not another player, just an NPC who's like, thank you for doing the missions. And every time she'd go to him, like he would compliment her, and she would have like a little blushing sprite. It would be like, it was kind of cute. Like, because this is just like some old guy who's just like, you know, going like, oh, you're so great, Leah. Thanks for helping us out. And she would just go like, oh, yeah, cool. And so that quest line was done, but it ends with like the guy saying like, maybe we'll have stuff next time, kind of hinting at the fact that like maybe in the next in-game update, like there will be like a continuation of the quest line. But there was a moment where she talks to the guy after I went and talked to him after I completed all his quests, and he says like, thanks for stopping by. We're still waiting on stuff for the new update or whatever. And it's like, she says hi, and then like, he doesn't say anything after that. And so she has a moment where she kind of pauses, and then she just says bye, because one of the 2 words that she can say is like hi and bye. And she just left. And it was really sad because it was like, oh, this is like in my MMO Final Fantasy 14, when I go and talk to an NPC whose quest I've completed, they give me a small little like thing that kind of references the stuff we did. And then like, there's no more continuation of the conversation because their story's done.
Oh no.
And I was like, damn, that's kind of sad. Because like, in other games and other stories, like when a story's done, like you don't really like interact with the character anymore.
Yep.
But in an MMO, like you have to continuously go back to those characters. But in the interim, they're kind of just standing there, not doing anything, because that's how the game's built.
Yep.
Crosscode understands that. So, and it does stuff with it, which is nice.
That's really cool.
That's great. Glad you're enjoying it.
Crosscode, since you've played more of it than I have, I've only played like the tutorial and maybe a little bit of the first level. Does it have any really esoteric stuff in it? Just like, do you ever like grind a attribute or stat that just doesn't at all matter?
No, there's a lot of like, it's not really a stat focused game. It's more of like you get like perks with the equipment you put on, and those perks have different percentages. So like one of them is like scope, which makes it so that like when you're shooting your projectiles, they're a bit more accurate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some of those like you can get really, some of them like can change the way you play. Like some of them will increase your melee damage, so you want to melee more. Some of them like give you an extra dash for dodging.
Yep. But
nothing about it is, but like for a long time, like I was just kind of like equipping whatever seemed like neat. Like you don't have to dig into anything. Like for a while, I only just now realized, like 20-30 hours in, that I get extra SP to do like special attacks when I'm in battle, but when I'm out of battle, I don't have as many. And also that you can charge up extra SP by using like neutral attacks, like the neutral element, because it has like an elemental system in it where you can modify your attacks with like elements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just now found out, like, oh shit, there's this whole like level of depth. So now I can actually like strategize in combat instead of just kind of like going ham and just saying fuck it. Which has, made the combat's kind of like as deep as you want to get into it, to be honest. And I really like how they have like a sphere grid adjacent system for upgrading, but they don't require you to do the Final Fantasy X thing of you have to get every notch in the sphere grid, because they actually have like tracks that you can switch to get different bonuses and different special moves.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
But like with Crosscode, like I really feel like it's as deep as you want to get. Like you can explore stuff or not. You can care about the stats or not. Like, because you can grind out some extra materials to trade to traders to get like special equipment, or you can just like buy the shop equipment for credits, and that'll do you just fine.
Oh yeah.
So I've never felt like anything's esoteric or absurd. And
so
like,
there's no point where you're like mining for fish or anything. Wait, actually, is there fishing?
No, but there is an NPC who stands next to, or not an NPC, there's another like player character who stands next to a river and says like, man, I hope they would bring back fish. I hope they bring back the fishing.
Hell yeah,
game.
I'll take it.
And then in the end game area there, I was in a player housing area, and there was like a house that's just called Fan Club, and then like the subtitle on their like house placard is "Bring back fishing." And their house has like a pond in it or whatever.
Like somehow fishing broke the game. They had to take fishing out.
So,
but
that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's no fishing, but there's never a point where you like have to. I've never felt like I've needed to grind either.
Hey,
so.
to crosscode it, it's better to have had fishing and lost it than to never had it at all. Than to never have fished at all.
Side note: what's your favorite fishing minigame in video games?
I like it when it's just as simple as possible. God, where's one where you kind of just get to like choose your bait and that determines the pool of fish that you're grabbing from?
That's how Final Fantasy 14 works.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. That's exactly how 14 works. I just like it when it's like that. Or ridiculous fishing. God, ridiculous fishing is great.
Oh, you mean like Final Fantasy 15? Or my favorite's actually Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah.
You get on the canoe and you have to go and like actually like hunt around the lake for the fish you want to catch.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the Ocarina of Time concept, but like bigger and better.
I will always love the Ocarina of Time concept where you just stand on the log.
Stand on the log. Gotta find that loach.
Hey, you kind of just like wiggle yourself towards the loach as best as you can. You angle it and you miss every time, but get close and you get closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
You never get it, but you always get closer.
That loach is an asshole. Hate that loach.
Solon, let's hear what else is going on with you.
Oh god, just garbage every day. Just shovel it in. I beat Oninaki.
Oh.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Oh, no. I'm not. Actually, no, I am. I've gotten closure that I will not be picking up any more Tokyo RPG Factory games, because at the end of the day... Forever!
Really?
I know all 3 of them that came out, and they just... Every single game has less and less heart and soul to it than the one before it. And they always get more and more technologically advanced. Like, the systems in them get more complex, but they don't have anything to back them up. No story, no characters that are of any interest. They keep getting more and more nihilistic every time. And it's just... it drained everything out of us. But yeah, it ended. And the tough part is that the ending had the same thing that happened in I Am Setsuna, which is this game has just straight dialogue that you click through constantly, listen to the people talk to each other, and set pieces happen, and big explosions and apocalypses happen. And then at the very end, you get a choice. You get a choice that changes your ending. And you can always save and reload your choice, but Oninaki also had a choice. And it was actually kind of an uplifting and nice choice. They give you actually 3 questions, all at the very end, that are like, hey, are you going to kill the bad guy, or are you going to side with them? And it's like, I'm going to kill the bad guy. But you could side with them and end the game before a big boss fight if you wanted to. And then, so that's a really railroaded decision. And they follow that up with another decision that's really railroaded, and I don't remember what it is. It was like, do you, like, go back in time and continue the cycle of time or something, or don't? And usually you just say don't, because, like, no, I'm moving the fuck on. We're done with the cycle of heroism and rebirth and all that crap. And then the last question is the one that made me video games suck sometimes. And Oninaki's last decision, you're the big edgy hero who's done all this murdering, and you're like, all right, time to turn the knife on myself. And they give you the choice. But it's not a choice. It's not a choice. And they actually do a pretty good job of hedging this with the previous things, that you say no. And when you say no, the hero goes, no, I need to be responsible for the world that I've created. I'm not gonna be in charge of this world, but I am going to continue to watch over it, kind of like a Batman sort of thing, which makes sense with this edgy heel of a character. But it was kind of a moment where it's like, you know what? You actually kind of stuck this landing. The very, very end has this nice uplifting moment where someone is finally responsible for a just miserable world that shouldn't exist, that is entirely about, like, the declining birth rate of this world, because everyone just believes in reincarnation, so nobody, like, has kids and, like, life is dying in this society. But they never investigate any of this. It's just text that they put out there. They just throw text out there constantly in this game. And it's just a bad grind. We put it on easy by the end of it so that we didn't have to work as hard. And the game became somewhat more, like, appealing. Although it says, the difficulty says casual, and, like, they're like, hey, this is just to watch the story. But we game overed constantly. It was only barely, like, it was only easier in the sense that they gave you more, like, Estus Flask-esque health potion drops. Because you have a hard limit on how many you can have. And so it just meant that I didn't have to grind as long to get those health pickups again, because they don't refill them for some reason when you go get your health restored at any, like, bonfire. God, this game is soulless. It's just so on its face soulless in every way. But at least I saw the ending. I saw it. And we survived. So, yeah. Tokyo RPG Factory, it's over.
It's over.
I'm not responsible for you any longer.
All right.
That was $60.
Jeez.
You got it out of your system. It's all done. Solon, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because I don't really have too much else to say besides the Pokemon. We should just go for it.
Here's a little bit of news. We found out recently that Steam has now opened their storefronts to now sell soundtracks outside of buying the game. Previously, when you bought stuff on Steam, if you wanted the soundtrack, you had to buy the game with it, which isn't like a bad thing. Usually, it would be an add-on that you'd pick up and put in your cart with the games that you're buying.
It was considered DLC at the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was literally just the same system as DLC. They just bundled it all together. Like DLC and soundtracks are the same purchasing system. Now they separated that system so that you can buy the soundtrack without having to buy the game. And it's a little thing, but I'm really excited for it, actually, which I haven't been excited about Steam stuff. I'm not often like, wow, good job, Steam. But it's a nice little thing that is going to help out a lot of people that I really care about. And I don't know the total details on the back end of it, if that money can be separated to like the, composer or artist themselves that helped develop the soundtrack, or if it has to go to the company that the game is coming from as well, or how that separates. But it just means that there's some cool options that people could have. I don't know if you could literally be someone who sells just soundtracks on Steam, like that's your company, but there's it opens up a lot of ideas.
It does seem like they are just going to work with whoever owns the rights to the music.
Yeah. And
they also said that you don't have to use the Steam backend. Like, there will be ways to upload music in a different way, and there will also be like a library for consumers, so you can just listen to your game music on Steam.
There we go.
And the neatest part is that even games that aren't on Steam can upload their soundtracks to Steam.
Ooh.
So it can be a completely separate deal. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Friendship ended with Windows Media Player. Steam Player is now my new best friend.
Yeah, I wonder if you're going to be able to upload your own music onto it, or if it's just going to be what you buy off of Steam. But, I mean, I guess we'll find out soon. They said that they're going to, like, fully launch it on the 20th.
Wow. That's pretty soon.
It's not far. Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now. Or even like a week from now when we put this out, actually.
I would hope that, like, insofar as, like, who gets the money, if somebody just buys a soundtrack, that, like, ideally, I feel like it would be better handed on, like, a case-by-case basis and not just, like, it's automatically always just going to go to this one party. So that way, like, for like, big-budget AAA games, like, buying the soundtrack separately, like, it's not really, like, clearly all of the work for this went to, like, one person or whatever. But like in a case of the games like Dicey Dungeons, if somebody's buying just the soundtrack, which is completely done by Chipsel, I'd feel like maybe most of the money there should go to Chipsel. But also, like, I'm not really familiar with what the contract situation was with that work, so it's a bit more nebulous. But basically, I would just hope that, like, this change ultimately just means that people are getting fairly compensated for their work. Going back to other things we've said earlier on this podcast, like
yes.
As long as people are getting their fair due, this change can only be good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm just questioning how flexible Steam can be, because Steam is not known for being super flexible in most regards.
Well, before, like, when we were, like, how this system was, like, it was literally just the DLC system, but you put your soundtrack in there. That felt more like a stopgap measure, where it's like, we want to put your soundtrack on Steam, but there's no framework for that, so we have to use the DLC system if we want to put our soundtrack on Steam.
Yeah.
And now that, hey, you can put your soundtrack on Steam is a thing, maybe that's gonna contribute to composers and artists, like, getting more money, which should be pretty cool.
It should. I mean, as long as they're in control of their songs, I think they will be the ones that choose to upload it.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I don't actually own any soundtracks on Steam, so I guess I've never really used that functionality beforehand. If I recall, since there's no way to, like, play audio through Steam necessarily, doesn't it just, send some MP3 files to your, like, Steam folders?
I think so. I've never done that. I've never done that either. I've never downloaded a Steam soundtrack. But
I'm only thinking because their competition is itch.io on this front. Like if you want game soundtracks for a lot of indie games, you're going to go to itch.io, and you're probably going to go to, like, a page that specifically routes to the composer or director of that soundtrack's, like, their profile. And it's just like, hey, here's the soundtrack.
Wouldn't
and
it
then
also
here's
be,
all the MP3s.
Wouldn't it also be competing with Bandcamp in a way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I know I've gotten some soundtracks through Bandcamp. So
Yeah, the only game music I own, I mean, other than the ones that I have on CD, is like I got all of like Garod's music, like the Valhalla composer.
Yep.
And that was on Bandcamp. So I mean, I think he like owns all the rights to that music, or at least
Right.
Like at least Sukeban like lets him like sell it or whatever. Which I mean, I'm like knowing the Sukeban folks, I'm sure they gave him a good contract to just do what he wants and get the money for his work, which is very good. So I would hope that more companies do stuff like that.
Yeah, interested to see some more infrastructure built out on Steam, especially with Epic Game Store right there, and they're kind of still stuck in some fledgling phases, and itch.io is always the go-to for like indie games as soundtracks, that and Bandcamp or Spotify even. Just the ways that these different groups are kind of now in competition with Steam is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Real quick, I guess I just want to shout out before we move on to the Pokemon madness. I'm just gonna shout out AI the Somnium Files one more time.
Oh, how's that going for you?
Oh man, well I might shout it out again once I finish it, but I'm like halfway through, I think. And I love it. I am so upset I didn't play it last year. That was my fault. I should have done it. It probably would have been like in my top 5. I love it so much.
You were busy last year, especially towards the last bit of it. So
I know, but still, I still feel kind of bad because I absolutely adore this game and I think it deserves more attention. It's just a really good visual novel. It's got really fun writing. It's just a bunch of bad puns and like dirty jokes and like weirdo characters just hanging out and being weird together. But like everyone's also really cool and they all like love each other and it's just great. It's just this great cast of characters just solving a mystery and being friends and just having a good time.
Every time I look at it, I see like the story scope and the characters, like the colorful cast of 999 and those games that this game comes from. But instead of them being in like super dark death games, they kind of just seem like they're always hanging out in their rooms like it's Persona 5.
Kinda. I mean, like there's
like way more
stuff.
casual atmosphere that is like kind of enticing.
Look, I think the thing that explains AI the best is there's a scene where one of the characters gets like is about to get kidnapped.
Uh-oh.
And the main character, Date, is trying to figure out, oh man, how am I going to get out of this? Because he has a gun, but all the other kidnappers have like, there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they all have like rifles. They all have assault rifles.
So you don't want to escalate things, right?
Exactly. So his sidekick, who is this cute little AI robot in his eye, like his left eye is an AI robot, who in real life can turn into like this little teddy bear looking thing, but when he's inside someone's dream, which by the way he can go inside people's dreams.
Okay, I'm following, but like I'm clinging to my fingertips. Continue.
Yes. She turns into like this really cute girl who's like my favorite, and anyway, I won't incriminate myself further. So she just starts going, Date, look over there. All the bad guys are standing next to a porno vending machine. You should shoot the porno vending machine. And so you shoot the porno vending machine and it explodes and all the like kidnappers like act like Metal Gear guards and are like, "Oh, what are those?" And they just all walk over. And then you just like shoot a fucking like sign over on top of them. And then immediately afterwards she's like, "Look, there's a set of underwear over there, knock it over." And then it just happens again. Like you just do that and it's like this like really harrowing like stopping someone from being attacked scene, but also the way that you prevent it is all the guards get horny and stop paying attention to you so you can just like knock things over on top of them. It's really fucking stupid, but it's very funny.
You know what, normally I wouldn't trust that in games, but like the 999 writers, I kind of actually totally do. That's funny as hell.
Uchikochi, I have found just from like now that I've played this game and now that I've like read what people have said about 999, like he's definitely a fucking perv, but he's like the kind of perv where he's just like, he's just having a good time and he doesn't mean anything real bad by it. He's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm a fucking dumbass, but it's fine. Like, there's not, like, any malice to it, and, like, the women in the game are actually, like, really well written.
Uh-huh.
Like, I would say, I would say that, like, everyone in that game is, like, really well written and have, like, really interesting character arcs. And, like, I wouldn't even say there's, like, that, like the main characters aren't really, like, that sexualized. Like, there will be, like, jokes, but it's just the kind of thing where, like, someone will crack a joke, and then they're just, like, all right, or nobody lets Date get away with anything. Like I think that's the thing that like really cinches it, is that nobody lets Date get away with anything. And like, LV talked about it when we were deliberating Game of the Year, that like the main character is a bit much, and I would understand that, but at the very least, it is palatable. It is okay because like nobody lets him get away with anything. Like his own eyeball is like, dude, you're fucking horny all the time. You gotta quit it. Like,
Google eyeball is telling him to stop being horny.
It's fun. It's funny. I love this game, and I'm only halfway done because I ended up like, for people that have played like 999 and other Uchikoshi games, you know that there are multiple routes, and this game isn't as sprawling as a Zero Escape game. It is very much just, there's like two main routes, and I think there's some like little splinters here and there. I finished basically the bad end route, because I don't want to spoil what it is, but I finished the bad end route, and now I think I'm on the good end route, or at least I'm on the second route. I don't know if that's going to lead to a good ending, or if I have to finish this and then like go to one of the splinters, because there's like a splinter off of the bad end route that is like saying, oh, well, you can't do this yet, so maybe I have to play through the second route, and then that'll give me another bad end, and then I have to, go to one of the splinters. I don't know yet.
Yep.
But I'm hooked. I'm fucking hooked. So I'm gonna keep playing. I gotta go through the second route, and I guess I'll report back as I go. I don't know. We'll see.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna join you soon.
Folks, you can really tell John's hooked when he changes his avatar on Discord.
Yeah, I made my avatar on Discord and Twitter. I made it Iba because,
like you said earlier, I don't want to incriminate myself any further. Friend, you have a girl as your avatar. There's no judgment here.
No,
let me live.
You are living. We're proud of you. That's what we're saying.
She's fun. She's real fun.
Yeah.
Sounds cool as hell.
She's adorable. Yeah,
it's good.
That specific one is the picture that I used is from one of the better scenes where you're like going through, you're in the dream world, and you're in like this like abandoned merry-go-round area, and you can just like, you can go around and like interact with different things, and like some of the things you have to interact with to actually progress, but some of them are just like jokey things you can do. And one of the things is just go up to this like merry-go-round horse and ride it, and she just gets on and she just makes this like completely like the fakest grin ever, and just like looks right at the camera, and she just sits there for like a full 3 seconds, and then Date's just like, "You having fun there, Iba?" And she just goes, "Does it look like fun?"
Oh, that rules. I might have to play this game just for that specific scene. That sounds fucking hilarious.
Like, their dynamic is so good. It's so good. Like, all the dynamics in this game are really, really fun. Like you're like, Date's quote unquote roommate is this like 6th grade girl who just does not take any shit. She just like, she's like a martial arts expert, and she has a fucking pipe in her room that she just uses as a sword. It's so good.
Yeah, she does like weightlifting, right?
Yeah, LV talked about her like in multiple scenes. You just walk into the room and she is just bench pressing hundreds of pounds. It's so good.
Damn, what a true hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mizuki's the best. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about AI. I like it a lot. So let's go on to the I guess the big controversy this week, which
Controversy? What controversy could you possibly be talking about?
Well, Pokemon happened again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, real quick, I guess the less controversial, but maybe the thing that I feel like should be more of a controversy thing is, so there was a Pokemon Direct, and they announced two things. And the first thing they announced was that they are remaking the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. It's gonna be one game. It's called, Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. It's gonna be on Switch. There's a demo out right now, which, you can try it out and, see how it plays. Spoiler alert, it plays like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's been like 4 odd years since there's been a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, which, like, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon fandom are all fucking crazy, rabid people.
Mm-hmm.
And, this game is about 15 years old. The original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon came out 15 years ago, about. So, this having a remake is not crazy, but maybe the fact that it's $60 is a bit much.
Yeah, that's $60 is nuts.
For a remake of a GBA/DS game, that does seem like a lot.
Yeah, they didn't do that for Link's Awakening, and they could have.
Yeah, I mean...
Link's Awakening was 40, if I'm remembering right.
I don't remember, but... I mean, it depends on how much content is in this. If this is like a like, if they add a lot of stuff to this game, maybe. But, I don't know, 60 seems like a lot. And, I mean, they revamped the art. It's all full 3D with, like, 3D models and new backgrounds, and the backgrounds look really good, but I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm in the minority here, but I think those 3D models look like dog shit.
Really?
I think they look really bad.
I was incorrect. Link's Awakening was also $60. So
well,
these remakes are big money, I guess.
That is expensive.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I mean, in screenshots, the 3D models look good, but I think they look really cheap and ugly when they're in motion.
The painterly style around the things, like how they built the world out, that does look really cool, though.
Oh, no, it does.
The dungeons,
I think it would be...
the mystery dungeons themselves look pretty great.
Like, a lot of this game looks amazing. All the, like, 2D art in the game is fantastic. It looks so nice. Like, all the, like, Pokemon portrait sprites, all the, like, illustrations that they have for the menus, those look incredible. The backgrounds look amazing. The dungeons look amazing. Everything looks great. It's just the 3D models when they're in motion. Like, I just think that when they're moving around, they're just really stiff and kind of ugly, and I don't like how they look.
That was exactly what I said about Link's Awakening until I started playing it, and it didn't really look better when I started playing it. Just, I got used to it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think I'll get used to. I think that's something that I'll just be like, yeah, you know what? This is fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Did you play the demo?
I'll live. A little bit.
Did you get to do the quiz, the personality test that you take at the beginning?
Yes, I did.
To figure out what your personality... What... Does it actually do the behaviors that Pokemon have? Like, the ones that increase your attack and decrease your special attack and stuff like that?
No, they use it to match you up with a Pokemon, and I was told that I was naive, and I match up with Totodile.
Hey!
Totodile is a pretty good one.
Hell yeah!
Sure. So I played as Totodile.
Chompy
That's
boy.
Okay. Yeah.
I love that it just ruins you. Every single one of those, they'll say something really nice, and then they will just crush you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you have, like, a childlike whimsy, but also, boy, are you bad at doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, man, don't you flake on everybody? And I'm like, no, what?
This is exactly what I put into my RPGs when I make them, because I ripped that from the same place Pokemon Mystery Dungeon ripped it, and that's Dragon Quest III, which starts you off taking a really long personality test from a waterfall who says they're God, and the waterfall just says, you're a great leader. Also, you really care about yourself a lot. You're vain as hell. You have a vanity problem, and it's getting in the way. It's like, what?
Yeah, slow down, Jesus.
I don't know anything about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, aside from, 1, Diglett is referenced as having feet. 2...
That is true.
The aforementioned fandom collectively cries waterfalls when you mention Grovile, and 3.
no.
You just set off like half the people listening to this podcast.
And 3, you're a Pokemon.
Yes.
You are a Pokemon.
They are pretty solid. They are pretty solid games. Like, I would say the first few are the good ones. Like, I think the original Mystery Dungeon, which I'm glad that they're remaking this one, because those first 2 games were really, really good. And I hope that they end up remaking the Explorers games next, because those are the best ones. Like, the best Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games are, like, there's Explorers of Time, Explorers of Darkness, and then made Explorers of Sky, which was, like, the, like, ultimate version, basically.
Oh, number 4, Dusknoir is an asshole for some reason.
Yeah.
So,
and then like I don't think people really liked all the like 3DS ones. I think those were the ones that people didn't like. But no, I mean, I hope that this is good. I mean, it's they're asking for a bit too much, but this game doesn't seem bad. The thing that is a bit more controversial, but also more interesting, is so people were thinking, oh, are they going to announce a new version of Sword and Shield? Oh, are they going to announce the Diamond and Pearl remakes? What are they going to announce? And they did something pretty unprecedented. Game Freak announced that Sword and Shield are going to get a DLC pass.
well, unprecedented for Pokemon. Let's be fair.
Yeah, yes, unprecedented for Pokemon. But yeah, because like I said, every single other time, if they wanted to add something onto a game, they would make an Ultra version, an Emerald, a Crystal, a Yellow, a Platinum, a Black and White 2. You know, like, there has been so much precedent of Pokemon games just coming out with a second version, and that being that. But this time, they are straight up doing DLC. They are going to build on Sword and Shield, and they are going to add more content to the game. So, just to set a baseline for the conversation here, I will explain what they are adding, and then we can kind of go off from there.
Me!
Yeah.
They're adding
so right
me.
now, I don't think they're adding oh, wait, no, actually, they are. You're right.
They absolutely are.
Meryl is in!
So, let me get to that.
So I've been waiting an hour and 10 minutes.
It's okay. So, right now, if you have Sword and Shield, you can update the game, and you can go to the Wedgehurst, I think that city?
Yes.
Yeah, the Wedgehurst train station, and you'll meet a new character, and you will encounter a Galarian Slowpoke, which is a brand new Galarian form, completely brand new. You can catch it. You can't evolve it yet, but you can catch Galarian Slowpoke.
Yeah.
And for all you sickos out there like me, that encounter is shiny locked, but you can shiny breed it, so you can get a shiny one, and it looks like Homer Simpson because it's all yellow.
It's got a big yellow forehead.
Yeah, I mean the normal one, the normal Galarian Slowpoke just has a yellow head and a yellow like tip of its tail, but the shiny form is like pure yellow, but then like the tip of its head is like a dark yellow.
Yeah, it's
So
got a very ridged
like
forehead.
Yeah, it just looks like Homer, which is very good. So, in June, or by the end of June 2020, there will be a paid update called the Isle of Armor. And here is what they are adding. There is a brand new area, which is the Isle of Armor. There is a bunch of new Pokemon, which we'll get to, new clothes, and new items, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, there's all kinds of shit here.
It's a big
about
wild
that.
zone. Just like the big
Yeah, so
wild
it's
zone that we had, there's now going to be another one of those.
Yeah, they're adding a new wild zone, wild area. But the new things that they're adding here, I'm just going to read this from the Pokemon website. In the Isle of Armor expansion, you'll head to the Isle of Armor, the stage of your new adventure in the Galar region. The Isle of Armor is a giant island full of environments not seen in Galar before. You will find beaches, forests, bogs, caves, and sand dunes. There's also plenty of Pokemon that make this island their home. There's even a dojo here that specializes in very particular training battles, or training styles. So you go to this Isle of Armor, and there is a new set of people. Called there's a new like training master at the dojo, whose name is Mustard, and he will train you in new techniques to become a stronger Pokemon trainer. And you will also get a new rival, If you play Pokemon Sword, you get a poison type girl named Clara, and if you play Pokemon Shield, you meet the bastard psychic type Avery.
What?
Who he's a fucking menace. Look at him.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They have nice pumps on and big black ruffles and a giant matching black top hat.
I don't trust the top hat. I feel like the top hat is what sets me off. I see that top hat and like, I don't know, when it's on Galarian Weezing, I'm like, okay, this is silly, this is funny, I can handle it. But I feel like if I see a top hat on a human being, that just like sets off my fight or flight. I'm sorry.
Avery is very over the top and flamboyant, which is kind of perfect for a psychic type person, because I don't know of any psychic type trainers that are like over the top and flamboyant like that. A lot of them are very much like, we will do cursed things and dark things. Avery's like, yo, let's party. And I kind of like that about them.
That is absolutely no, Solon.
What?
The way that you just explained how you think Avery isn't, that is absolutely how Avery is in the game.
Really? Just gonna be all
because I have Shield.
Stuff?
You run into Avery in the train station, and Avery is just like, there is a Galarian Slowpoke. How exquisite! Like it's exactly like that. So yeah,
still a very, I guess. Okay, yeah, they've got that scientific approach to them, but I don't know.
It's just the top hat. It's just the top hat for me. I can't do it. I'm sorry. So, yeah, they're adding even more stuff here. Yeah, they showed off a bunch of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you're going to be able to just dress up as Marnie or Chairman Rose, which is really funny. I'm absolutely just going to do, like, a really shitty Chairman Rose cosplay once I get all that stuff. That's very funny.
I wish you could dress up as Chairman Rose with the gut. Because that's such
that would be really good.
That's such a good moment. Rose, I don't like Rose as a character for a lot of reasons, but that moment when you get to see him in casual clothing is so valid and so powerful.
It's very good. They're adding a bunch of new items. For example, they are adding the ability to get apricorns.
Oh.
So all those like rare Pokeballs, you're just going to be able to get them whenever you want, I guess. They're adding an extra EXP item, so you can get even more EXP, which... that sounds fucking crazy. I don't know why you would need that, but okay. There's so much new stuff that they're adding. I'm trying to see what else we have here. Okay, yeah. There's so many like buttons on here. I'm trying to open up all this shit because there's a bunch of pages on here. They say that also added in the Isle of Armor, there's going to be new tutor moves. So there's going to be new moves that they're going to let you have. I guess where they're going to bring back some moves that got removed, and maybe just add brand new ones. They also said that they're going to add new Pokedexes because in both the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, they are bringing back Pokemon that got removed from Sword and Shield.
Yep.
So as you mentioned, Meryl is coming back.
Yeah.
And according to this image here, Meryl is going to be back in the Isle of Armor, so you only have to wait a few more months, Solon.
Yep, I made it. I'm late, but better late than never.
So it's not going to be every Pokemon. They said that they're going to be adding around 100 with each expansion. So that's not all like 800 whatever Pokemon. There's going to be like maybe 200 left out, but that's going to be way more than it was. That's another like 200 something Pokemon added onto this game.
Yep.
And for those of you that are worried that, oh, well, that's really shitty that they're, like, keeping all those Pokemon walled off.
Until, like, a next expansion pack or something. Yeah, that sounds kind of skeezy, right?
Well, the good news is that if you have a friend who gets the expansion pass, or hell, just if you can go online and find people, you can just trade for them. You can trade for those Pokemon. They are available in the game, even if you don't have the expansion pass. You just have to trade. Which, isn't perfect, but...
As we've been over before, the trading system is not perfect, and they did not make any mention of them, like, changing that at all.
But then at the same time, with how people do mystery trading and all that, like,
yes.
The day that the Isle of Armor comes out, there's going to be fucking tons of those motherfuckers, like, level 1 egg, like, shiny Pokemon reject, like, on that. Like, you're not gonna have any problems. So... it's not perfect, but you'll be able to get your hands on those Pokemon pretty easily if you just ask around.
Yeah.
There's also going to be something called restricted sparring in the Isle of Armor. This was actually not talked about on the Direct, but it looks like there's going to be some kind of like challenge mode tied to the dojo that you are only able to use certain types of Pokemon and only under certain set conditions. So this might be like, in Pokemon Stadium where they have the different cups.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, like they specifically say this will give some of your Pokemon that are normally overlooked a chance to shine. So, that sounds like they'll be like, oh yeah, no, only Pokemon that don't evolve, only Pokemon that are this level. I think they're going to have different, like, specifications, so there will be all different kinds of Pokemon and reward you for getting all different kinds of Pokemon. That is really cool. That seems really neat.
That's the part that I'm excited about for two reasons. One, I want that Pokemon Stadium feeling of just like weird gimmick cups that let me explore different types of Pokemon. Two, I love the story that Avery and Clara get to have where we get to see a gym leader be created. Someone who is like, my goal is to be this gym leader. We kind of saw that in the story of Sword and Shield, but people kind of tripped into their roles as gym leaders, which was also cool. But this is like literally like, oh, there's a system. There's actually a class that people train for to be respected members of society. And Clara is in this like really cool outfit where she looks like a moth, but then has to wear the like gaudy poison type trainer gym trainers, like the suit underneath it. And Avery does too, which people have reacted to very sharply, that maybe the all black outfit
I guess.
doesn't go with a purple rainbow jumpsuit.
No,
but they're in training outfits, and that's what I got.
It's the fucking top hat.
I love that they're in the same training outfits that you got stuck with on your road to champion, because those outfits kind of suck, but they do establish that, like, hey, people in this world that are training under certain ideas or training under certain types, this is what they have to wear.
Yeah, because Mustard, your master at the dojo, was also Leon's master. Like, he trained Leon. So, yeah, this guy seems to be the real deal. I guess he was also champion for a record 18 years.
Jesus.
Yeah,
so this dude is strong.
That is some, like, old school wrestling, like, idea.
Yeah. Let's see here, though. They didn't really go into details about the characters in the Tundra. Let me see, is there anything else in the Isle of Armor? Oh, there is one more thing. So, also being added to this game is there's actually going to be brand new Pokemon as well. In the Isle of Armor, there's going to be a new mythical Pokemon called Kubfu, which evolves into a brand new Pokemon called Urshifu. Their whole deal is that, depending on which version of the game you're playing, I don't think
it's that.
Oh, no. Okay, no, it says what form it evolves into will change depending on choices made during your adventure. The forms are not tied to your game version. Okay.
You could do some visual novel shit.
Yeah, so there's two different forms. One of them is called Single Strike Style, which is fighting in dark, and the other style is Rapid Strike Style, which is fighting in water.
Which I think corresponds to, like, Tiger Style and like, Crane Style.
That looks like it, yeah. That absolutely looks like it. So Single Strike is... Urshifu in this form battle without holding back. When enraged, they will mercilessly attack an opponent until it's utterly crushed. Single strike style Urshifu's movements are often direct and involve rushing forward in a straight line. And then Rapid Strike Style says Urshifu in this form remain a calm demeanor, observing their opponents and measuring their strength while dodging attacks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Finally, we get a Bruce Lee Pokemon. God, I've been waiting for that.
There you go.
Hitmonlee is like right there.
It's actually in this generation, too. Tyrogue's just, like, looking from outside of the island like, I could have been a mythical creature.
And then they both have special Gigantamax forms. So there's a Single Strike Gigantamax and a Rapid Strike Gigantamax.
Just Tyrogue and Cubchoo looking at each other like, it could have been us.
So Cubchoo is different from Kubfu.
Yep.
Kubfu is the fighter, and Cubchoo's the little fucking polar bear with the snot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And also, they will allow you to use Gigantamax forms of your starters. They didn't really go into too much detail about how that will happen. I'm gonna guess that maybe you do some training at the dojo and then your like original starter can Gigantamax. But yeah, Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon all have Gigantamax forms now.
Yeah, I think the worst one out of them is actually Cinderace. Gets kind of the short end of that stick. Not really sure from the images what's going on with that one, but the other two are awesome.
Yeah, Rillaboom just gets like a gigantic drum set.
Full drum kit.
Yeah. Inteleon is its tail gets super long and it turns into a sniper nest and then it just has a sniper rifle.
Well, it doesn't have a sniper rifle. It like solidifies the water around like his fucking finger gun and then makes it into a longer barrel. The problem for me with Inteleons is that like if you look at the pose Inteleon's doing, like okay, so the whole gimmick with Inteleon is haha, water gun, finger gun, I shoot, I point at you and you die.
Yeah, he fucking murders Pokemon.
So that's all well and cool, but the pose that Inteleon's doing, like, okay, so if your gun is the barrel here, are you gonna just completely snap your wrist when you fire it off? Like, how does that work?
Sure is.
It looks
the
like looking at
that.
Inteleon like feels like I'm getting carpal tunnel syndrome by osmosis.
It looks so like a comic. Like
it
some
is,
kind of cartoon character.
I love how it is just straight up like the cat in the fucking with the sniper rifle. Just that picture.
Yeah. The cat and, sniper cat meme.
So you say that Cinderace is the one that got hit the worst. I don't think any of them are particularly losers because I still like Cinderace because he's doing the fucking gunbuster pose.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he summons a giant pyro ball that has like a bunny face on it, and he's just standing on top of it doing the gunbuster pose. It's rad as hell.
It's literally just like a bomb from Final Fantasy, like the monster.
That's why I brought it up. I felt like I was misunderstanding it.
Well,
there you go.
I did too, but that was only when I saw like because there was an image going around online where it was just like Cinderace, but like a close up. So I saw like, okay, Cinderace is like big and the ears are longer, and Cinderace is folding its arms. Okay, whatever. And then I saw the full picture, and I was like, that fucking rules. I still hate Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing though.
Are we breaking you down little by little, Skull?
No. I still won't use it. Like I have never Dynamaxed and I never will Dynamax, and you cannot change my mind.
It's okay. You'll end up in the battle tower at some point. It'll be a do or die situation, and you have to make the choice.
I've been in the battle tower and I have destroyed people's Dynamaxed Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
without Dynamaxing. Like I can do that. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. They give you a trick Rotom, and it's the most fun thing in the battle tower. Is to ruin someone's entire career by giving them a choice scarf and forcing them to use attacks that can't hit your Rotom. Oh,
it's pretty good.
It's so good.
Also, they are going to keep adding more regional forms. So Galarian Slowpoke doesn't seem to be the only regional form. They actually showed some other Dynamax, Gigantamax forms as well. They didn't say when they would be coming, but they showed Gigantamax Blastoise and Gigantamax Venusaur.
Yeah.
So those are going to be in there.
Another Mega Venusaur, which I think is always great. Every Mega Venusaur design specifically is like really fun. They just explore a lot of different ideas of what the weird
Bigger
plant. What can a plant on a top of a little tiny bear be?
Bigger plant.
Mega Venusaur, chunky boy. Gigantamax Venusaur, chunky plant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little tank.
And so also I don't know if they're going to be added in Armor or Tundra, but they also showed like what looks like Galarian forms of the legendary birds.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the other DLC?
I will, but just to mention the birds are like the Moltres is like black with red fire, and it looks really cool.
Moltres looks like Salazzle.
Kinda, yeah.
With the color
not
scheme.
As horny, but definitely Salazzle-esque. Yeah.
Fucking
Articuno's like this. Articuno's this like cool like rust color kinda. It's really pretty. I like Articuno a lot.
Fucking
And then
Zapdos. Holy shit.
Zapdos is a Roadrunner.
Zapdos looks so fucking cool.
I want 12. I want so many of them. I love Galarian Zapdos so much. But yeah, so that's all in the first part, or at least we think. Part 2 is the Crown Tundra, which that is going to be a completely different area. That's going to be all about like they said that the Isle of Armor is going to be about like training, and the Crown Tundra is going to be about exploration. That's what they said. So there's like this abandoned church looking place where they say that a certain person is going to be giving you the tools to do even more exploration in Pokemon max raid dens. So the new thing that they're adding in the Crown Tundra is you're going to be able to do a co-op mode with your friends where not only do you get to battle like Gigantamax or Dynamax Pokemon in max raid battles, you're going to be able to go into the dens and explore them. So they didn't go into like any real depth about like what that means, but you're going to be able to like go down into the dens with people.
I can tell you what that
them.
means. 2 words.
Or
I guess 3 words for context. Bloodborne Chalice dungeons, but in Pokemon.
I don't know too much about Bloodborne, but I'll just say
it's just
sure.
It's just going to be procedural dungeons.
Hey!
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. They also talked about how they're going to bring back a bunch of legendaries, and they'll be catchable in there. It was mostly the legendaries that were like dug up in the like data mining, so it showed like Mewtwo and the legendary dogs, I think, and
pretty much
like
all of the cover legendaries.
Yeah, like the Weather Trio, like fucking
was Celebi
all that
in there?
Shit. I don't think so.
Yeah,
it was mostly
the things that they didn't show.
The legendaries and not the mythics.
Were the mythic event Pokemon that didn't really show up in any of those games, but kinda did. Yeah, those ones I didn't see on there.
There's also the other legendaries.
There's the genies. No.
The new ones.
Right.
Yeah. So also they showed off that there were going to be like these ruins that you could explore, and there were 3 different ruins, all matching up to the 3 already known Reggies. Regice, Registeel, and Regirock. But they also showed what looks like 2 new Reggies. They look like an electric and a dragon one.
Regiplasma and Regi Hurt Pain.
No, it's gonna be Regivolt and Regiroar.
What?
Those are really good guesses. What's
Roar for?
For dragon.
For the dragon. This is a dragon type.
It looks dragon type.
It's good alliteration.
Like literally, like the dragon Reggie looks like it. Picture like a dinosaur, like a dragon head trying to like chomp down on a jawbreaker. That's what it looks like. Because one arm is just the top jaw and the other arm is the lower jaw.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait for Crown Tundra to come out, and I get to relive the childhood memory of having to solve Braille puzzles that tell me like, okay, you need to go and catch a fucking Articuno, and you need to teach it Sky Uppercut, and you have to go to the specific square in like fucking Spikemuth, and then use Sky Uppercut, and then like bam, there's the Reggie.
Yep.
It's gonna be great. We have to talk about the bastard man, though. We got to talk about the bastard boy, the bastard child.
Oh, the bastard. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So just as they added Kubfu and Urshifu in the first part, in the Crown Tundra, they are adding a new Pokemon called Calyrex, which is psychic and grass, and it is this. It looks like shit.
Kind of does.
I was watching the Direct, but I only caught the last half of it, which was basically all of the Crown Tundra stuff. And they have like this landscape, right? And it's like it's all snowy in the background, and you see the sun rising upon the horizon, and you see this like silhouette like descending from the heavens, and it's the silhouette of Calyrex, and they're introducing it, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be some really cool ass fucking weird bug Pokemon. I'm so fucking ready. And the nanosecond I realized it was based off of a mammal, I was like, oh no. This was a mistake. Go back.
Yeah, it's like a deer
Well,
with like a huge like crown thing on its head, and it's got like beads around its neck that all have Triforces on them.
but it's got little stub arms and long
and like
stub
really
legs.
long legs. It looks so bad. I hate it.
It does look like a Slender Man. Like, it looks like one of those SCP monsters that people made. It also looks like the fake Pokemon that people made for Sun and Moon. Was it Sun and Moon or was it X and Y? Where they made no, it was Oshawott. Where they made that little they thought Oshawott was going to be like this little duck with an acorn on its head.
The platypus with the acorn. Yeah, it does look like that.
So I was explaining it to a friend, and she described when I said it looked like a deer, because I'm with you, John. Mm-hmm. It looked like it had a deer head, but my friend said it looks more like a rabbit, and I was like, that kind of explains the proportions.
Yep,
but it's still fucked up.
So the vibe that I got from it is I think they're trying to go for a jackalope, because I don't know if we've had that kind of legendary before.
No,
I guess.
But also if you're gonna go for a jackalope,
I guess you need antlers.
You could so easily just have a set of antlers that make a crown shape, in the negative space, and they go for this giant fucking orb, it's a fancy fucking crown.
It's just
I'm just why?
A weird flat stick figure with a giant orb on for a head. It's so weird and lopsided looking. There's nothing about this that looks threatening or rare. And so they've managed to somehow miss both of the criteria to be a super legendary Pokemon.
Also, that typing. Oof.
Is it grass psychic?
Yeah.
4 times weak to bug, baby.
Oh, it's another grass psychic.
So
I think it was Shofu that said this, but I think the best tweet I saw about it is that it looks like a character that would help Courage the Cowardly Dog out of a situation. It looks like a Courage the Cowardly Dog character.
Wow.
Yeah, it does. It totally does.
Yeah, that's the kind of mythicality we're dealing with, where it's doesn't make sense here or there, but it is very funny every time I look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So having gone through all the stuff that they're gonna be adding,
yeah,
how
I think
they're
that's
adding it.
pretty much it.
What do you think about it? What are your thoughts?
So, personally, I am pretty happy with it. Okay, one last thing I have to say is that all of this together, this whole season pass, which again, this is the first part is by the end of June. The second part is going to be in fall, by the end of fall. They said. All this together is $30. If we think about that compared to other Pokemon games, then that is a deal. Because previously, for example, you bought Sun and Moon, and then a year later you bought Ultra Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
That was $40 each. And, altogether this is $90 if you bought the game new, this, Sun and Moon new, and then bought this. But at the same time, if they're going to keep charging $60 for Pokemon games, that is half off, instead of it being a completely separate purchase. So, in context, it makes sense. Obviously, I don't know how much of this was cut for time, and if, Sword and Shield should have just been delayed, and then they just took some stuff out, and, I don't know. It's really hard to say, because, I feel like I'm happy with what they're doing with this, but if it, comes out they totally could have fit this in if they had, another 6 months, and they wouldn't have had to charge extra. Which, I guess they could have done, I don't know. It's a weird feeling, because, I feel like DLC on the whole is still kind of a weird, iffy thing. And, it's not like us buying this is gonna, directly support the developers and help them out or anything like that. But this content seems really neat. I am excited for all of this stuff. I am excited that I don't have to buy another $60 game that is just an update of this, that I have to replay all that stuff. That does make me happy. I am excited for this.
Yeah.
There's definitely nuance, and there's definitely upsetting business practices that fucking suck. But that's just how all DLC is, and it's really rough, and I don't condone it. But it's fucking capitalism. If you buy anything, it's not good. So I don't know. I am excited about it, but also I get it, and and also it is a little expensive. Like $30 is a little expensive for DLC.
Well, that's the
I would
same
hope
price that they've been doing for all the Nintendo games. And I think when you compare it to the other Nintendo games' DLC prices, that at the very least, Pokemon.
No, this is like $5 more, because I think Fire Emblem and Smash were $25.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, the Fighter Pass
so.
is $25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to compare it to those for a second. Fire Emblem and Smash and Breath of the Wild had one also, right? They had some kind of DLC pass.
I think technically it did. I don't think it was like a pass. I think it was just like... I mean, it had like the 2 DLCs. I don't know if it was like a pass, but I don't. Okay. I think that was like $25 altogether.
The thing that I see out of this that's different from those other things is how all-encompassing this is. Everything from clothes to new Pokemon to old Pokemon. There's a lot here that makes sense for $30. That doesn't seem like an outrageous price tag or anything that's going to scare people out of, thinking, oh, this is going to be an entirely new game. It's kind of like the perfect price point for them to be like, oh, this is not a little thing, but also it's not it is not the equivalent of one full video game. It is half of one video game, and so I'm not going to expect too much, and I'm not going to feel like I'm wasting my money either.
Like, just from what they've said here, I feel way more comfortable paying that money.
Yes.
Like I think about, I got what I wanted out of Breath of the Wild. I don't need that DLC. That was something different. But, I think about the money that I spent on Smash Bros. I spent that $25, and I feel like that was worth it.
Over time, eventually. But that was also, I paid $25 for, a year and a half, 2 years of development time. It's a kind of a different cost-benefit analysis there.
It's very different. It's very different. And, also, I'm a sicko, and, Smash Bros. Is my illness.
Yeah, we're sickos.
But Pokemon's also one of my illnesses. Yeah. So, I just compare that to that, but then I also think about Fire Emblem. Now, I did not buy the Fire Emblem DLC, because I looked at that, I looked at them charging $25 for that, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Looking back on that...
None of that, that is not worth $25. I think that is, bullshit. Just so far from what I've seen from this Pokemon stuff, I think that will most... as long as that content is good, and as long as there is a good amount of it, I think asking for $30 for all that will be fine, especially if they keep revealing more stuff and talking about this new stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
And... I'm okay with that.
There's a lot of goodwill that's been pushed back into Pokemon because of this, in a way that people have restored their faith in Game Freak, and that's very important. There's
definitely people that are there is some controversy about it.
Yeah.
About about saying it's too expensive, about saying that this isn't good enough.
Yeah, you're paying $30 to get the 200 more Pokemon that you wanted in the first place. I could see a narrative there that would be kind of shitty.
And I feel that. I really feel that. And I mean, I know that Rose has been tweeting about people also kissing I guess more kissing Nintendo and Pokemon companies' asses about this, because I absolutely do believe that Game Freak should just have all the time that they need to make these games, and that they shouldn't have to separate this stuff off into DLC, because they should just have the time to do this, and they should have all the money to do this, because Pokemon is the most profitable thing in the world, period. So they should just be able to make what they need to.
But I know what you mean. You're excited. Yeah.
That's where I stand. Is
Pokemon is literally the most profitable thing in the world. Literally, it is.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
My thoughts on this is just purely that if they had had a year extra of dev time and were able to put this stuff in, I would have been more than happy to just have waited until 2020 for Sword and Shield to release if it had all this stuff in it.
Yeah. Or even 2021, because this is a lot of stuff, and I feel like Sword and Shield itself, the base game, it probably needed that game needed some more polish. That game needed some polish for I mean, there's some smaller stuff like the frame rate and all that, but I think the wild area should have been expanded a little bit more.
The story should have been fleshed out. The characters, the story should have been developed better. The online could have been serviceable.
Yep.
Exactly. There's all these problems that could have been potentially fixed by more dev time. I mean, the online probably not, because they did that on fucking purpose, but
it's going to come down to when that stuff comes out, if it's going to feel like, oh, this is definitely stuff they wanted to put in, but they had to cut it for time. If it feels like that, that's only going to reaffirm what I just said about like, I would have been much happier waiting for this to just be in the game, and not even just from like a price standpoint, really, just from like a don't crunch your devs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So.
But this does seem... The interesting thing is that this is being made by what seems to be the B team. Like, it seems like they have moved the next team onto working on the next game already, which is interesting because what I hope this means is that they are giving that team more time, maybe, but there's always the chance that just means that they're just going to make that game through 2020 and then it's going to come out in 2021. Like, I hope that's not the case, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah,
it's tough. That's tough.
That's all the Pokemon.
Well, my bottom line for it is that I talked about this being something that restores faith. It's not going to fix any of the problems that Sword and Shield had. This is literally just added on to it. But what it does fix is that it restores faith because it's the DLC announcement and how it was all taken care of was surprisingly apt for Game Freak. It was actually in touch with things, especially after we've had examples of other Nintendo IPs being out of touch, like Fire Emblem, or being in touch but really, really specific, like Smash, or whatever was going on with Breath of the Wild, which is just a very different set that was kind of take it or leave it if you wanted more Breath of the Wild content. I think that it makes sense, and I think that it makes for a tradition that can continue onwards in a more stable way than their previous way of iterating games.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a tough conversation, and I just hope that people are smart and they understand the realities of creating in the age of late capitalism, and I truly hope that Game Freak fucking gets a break. That's what I really hope. I just hope they get a break. But I'm also very excited about this. I am going to drop $30 on this.
I don't know if I'm going to.
Enjoy it.
It depends on how quickly I get Meryl from free trades.
I mean, well, Solon,
yeah,
I'm going to get it.
That's true.
So I can just get you a Meryl.
That's true. I'm glad that that's an option. Like, above everything, like, I don't have to pay $30 to get that one thing that I want. That's very nice.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
I want to do all this stuff, though. I want to do those challenge battles. I want to explore. I want to catch all these weird legendaries. Oh, and the last thing, I did forget one last thing. They are putting out Pokemon Home in February. They said that they're going to talk more about it, but it's coming in February. It does look like it's going to have an extra charge, which fucking sucks.
Wait, is it? I didn't hear anything about that.
They said that, yeah.
Oh.
But
I saw at the bottom text said it was going to be a free thing that you could download.
Nah, it said it's a free download, but you need to pay to use it. Yeah. And then basically it's just you can transfer anything as long as it matches up to the game. Like, for example, right now you can only like transfer the stuff that's in Sword and Shield right now. But once they get the Isle of Armor update, you can transfer everything that's in the Isle of Armor up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with the Tundra of Crown. You can just as soon as all those Pokemon are available in that game, you can transfer them up. But yeah, we don't know the full list of Pokemon yet. They have like a couple of like screenshots and like a couple of like little images of the Pokemon, but it's like 100 each expansion.
Heck yeah. It's going to be 100 legendaries and Peekaboo.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. They're going to make 100 new legendaries. They're going to put Mew 3 in the game finally.
Yes.
Oh, finally. I've been waiting for that for like 20 years now.
Me too.
No, Mewtwo.
When are they going to make Missing No a real Pokemon?
Yeah, for real.
For fucking real.
So, you want to go to questions now?
Absolutely. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like these fine folks right here. Anonymous asks, "Hello, video gamed Chooch-oo. Do any of you like those tin coffee thingos? What's the go with that? Is it an America thing? An Asia thing? Cheers."
Are those
tin coffee thing?
Tim Tams?
I think they are talking about canned coffee. Yeah.
Like my kind of coffee. Well, I guess technically I get my coffee in it's already pre-ground, and it's in bags, and it's Dunkin' Donuts brand. So because I'm
No,
epic.
Yep.
I think they're talking about like UCC coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like
Haven't had
interpreting this. Maybe it could also be the single shot coffee things that you get you put it in the press and
Oh, you mean like a Keurig?
a Keurig. Yeah, those are kind of
I
like
don't
tinned
recommend
coffee things.
Keurigs.
No,
I do like coffee though, as long as it's iced, because my Floridian body can't handle hot liquids.
I don't drink coffee. That's my answer.
I subsist on G Fuel now. It's been an interesting life.
Jesus.
Okay. Also, I guess to answer the second part of this question, I feel like I see more like Japanese media that has like the coffee in a can.
Oh, I
just think about Ava. I just think about like Masato drinking the UCC coffee.
I have drank. Sorry, I thought this was like coffee you buy in a can that you then it stores. No, it's like pre-made canned coffee, like a canned beverage.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Ooh, those are yummy.
I don't know what's going on with my brain right now. I've had canned coffee before. It's fine. Like I like it, but I don't go out of my way to buy it.
Okay.
So
yeah, how come the Seattle folks aren't coffee drinkers out here? This isn't.
I mean, I am a coffee drinker.
You are right. Iced coffee specifically.
Well, like the thing is, like the reason I don't get canned coffee is because it's usually just like a single serving.
Yep.
It's much more efficient if I get like a bag of coffee and use my coffee maker to make coffee with.
Make the big pot.
Yeah, like I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, lasts you all day.
All right. Let's see here. Shula sent in 2 questions. First one: which Kirby song would be the most terrifying to hear while you're walking around town?
Butter building.
Yeah. Yep. Butter building.
I think mine would be that one song from Kirby Superstar that's like
what would that put you in while you're walking around town? What kind of like situation would you now have to feel like you're in?
I would be running for my life. I would be probably flailing my arms, trying to make sure that nobody's attacking me, like just like trying to like keep people off of me. I'd be trying to get out of there as soon as possible.
So I said butter building because I immediately thought of like butter building being played like in the distance via like a PA system.
Oh,
and it's like just that. Like, but in a town setting, and it's like, ugh, that would be horrifying. But if it was more of like a intense moment, then Checker Knight's theme from Kirby Air Ride, because if that's blaring, somebody's doing some massive road rage in the city, and I am terrified.
All right.
So,
secondly,
oh yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's the like remix of the N64 stage. That someone put onto YouTube a long time ago, where it's like Kirby noises and Captain Falcon noises, just making the song,
the Falcon Punch remix.
The Falcon Punch remix, and that's a song that's on my phone as like an MP3. Except it's been on my phone since I was a kid, and I don't know how to get rid of it. It's on my phone as like a bunch of broken characters, and every time I look at my phone and I see my music list and it's the top one, because apparently that's like alpha numerically, the top thing is just a broken character. And I always go, what is that? And then I hear it and it blasts me right in the face. Yeah. Over and over.
Falcon Punch.
Punch. And
incredible.
It's just been following me. I don't know how it got on my phone a long time ago, but it's not going away. Like it is somehow trapped to my Google account to always be on any of my like accounts for some reason. So it just follows me everywhere I go.
That is pretty scary. That's very scary.
I have something like that. It's like a piece of art somebody did. It's a Pokemon related thing where it's like a cliff and there's like an Eevee that's like almost about to fall off the cliff, and there's an Umbreon that's like protecting the Eevee from like a whole bunch of other dark Pokemon that are coming to attack it. And I saved it to like my Google Drive at once, and like whenever I'm on like a new phone or whatever, like I always just see that image just there. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's a good image. I'll see if I can find it.
And Shulis also asks, Do you think Chumley kept his job at Industrial Illusions after leaving Duel Academy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pegasus was very like, I need to have this person on my team. Like, he was very enthusiastic about Chumley.
Pegasus doesn't give a shit.
Didn't he intern at Industrial Illusion? I figured they just didn't renew. They just dropped him after the internship ended.
No, they hired him.
Oh, did
they hired him? Yeah.
I mean, Pegasus doesn't give a shit because he's like a billionaire.
Exactly. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'll just hire you. Who cares?
Flamboyant artist.
But like, he doesn't care. So like, he's not going to fire Chumley is the thing there.
Yeah.
Like, so Chumley definitely still has his job at Industrial Illusions.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
God.
Gregory Zero asks, what Pokemon do you hope will return in the DLC? I personally want to see Blissey or Spheal, because the thought of seeing either Dynamax is hilarious to me.
Hell yeah, that's a great idea. Blissey Dynamax?
Oh, that's good.
I want to see what that looks like.
First off, Mr. Zero, I have good news for you.
Yep.
Spheal is coming back.
And so is Chansey.
Is it? Is there a picture of Chansey? I didn't see Chansey.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. 2 for 2.
I didn't see Spheal, so that's news to me. Wow. You win!
Yeah, congrats.
Um,
So, John, you go first.
I'm pretty happy. Like, most of my favorite Pokemon are coming back. I think, okay, no, wait, no. There is one. There is one that I need. I need my actual favorite Pokemon, Kangaskhan. I want Kangaskhan back.
Yeah.
I need my Kangaskhan. That's what I need. Mm-hmm.
Solon, you're already getting Meryl. Is there anything else?
I really want to see Furret. I think there's been so much culture built up with the lack of Furret that to just have that all unleashed on the world would be great.
Furret's one of my friend's favorite Pokemon, so I kind of hope that one gets in.
To get to have Furret in Pokemon camp, I think that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Long boy.
All right, what about you, Skull?
So my favorite Pokemon, Bisharp, is already in Sword and Shield, and I'm pretty happy with that. Like I know like Absol's not in the game, but I don't need Absol to be in this game because Absol got like a Mega Evolution that was dope as hell like a couple generations ago, so I'm totally fine with Absol sitting out. The one Pokemon that I want though is Heracross, not because I like Heracross, but because Heracross is one of my friend's favorite Pokemon, and he was extremely bummed out to find out that Heracross wasn't in it. And so I really hope he gets it this time, so he can have his boy.
All right, it's a good one. Anonymous asks, any of y'all get into tower defense? What are your favorites, if so?
Fortnite.
So Crosscode has a tower defense.
Yeah, it does.
It's hell. It's fun, but I got a quest where I have to get like 500 points on like the endless mode, and I'm like, I tried it once and I got like 114 points, and it was a doozy, and I'm like, shit. As far as like actual tower defense though, Bloons?
I keep thinking about Bloons.
Like Bloons is my go-to like when I think about tower defense games.
There
was that Sanctum game a while ago that was like a first-person tower defense hybrid, like a first-person shooter like tower defense hybrid game, which was pretty fun to play with friends.
Yep.
But I can't say I'm particularly fond of the tower defense genre, only because when you're building the tech and researching and building buildings to like defend the towers, there's always a part where it's like, I'm getting way in over my head, and I don't know that I'm getting way in over my head because I can't see like the hordes of enemies I won't be able to deal with until they happen, and then I'm like, oh well, I'm just dead now.
Hey, we started talking at the beginning of the show about old games. Well, how about this one? I hope you all had a fun time with this one. Do you remember Protect the Castle, the Flash game, where
with the stick
figures that you click on and smite them?
Oh yeah, I played that in middle school.
I probably played that in middle school too. I don't remember it, but yeah.
Rip to Flash games, but you know, it's I don't know how you archive that, but I hope it does. Because you would pick up a stick figure and you'd fling it into the sky, and then like 30 seconds later it would hit the ground. You're like, oh yeah, I remember throwing that guy. Very satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess the closest thing would be Monday Night Combat.
Yeah.
I played that for like a good while when that came out on like 360. That was a fun game.
Yep.
That was like kind of a tower defense, kind of a MOBA. It was like a bunch of different genres at once, but it was fun. That was a fun game. It was like TF2 if it was also a MOBA, if it was also tower defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest
Which I
in
guess
peace.
MOBAs are kind of tower defense in themselves, if you think about it.
That is really where it all ends up at, isn't it?
They do literally have towers, so...
Yeah.
That's where they went.
But, yeah, I guess that's the closest thing that I really liked. Anonymous asks, why does John hate Sinnoh so much? Sinnoh so much. Diamond and Pearl are really great games. Go back and play them now.
What?
Try them again. They don't hold up.
I've always heard that they are paced very, very, very slowly.
That is exactly right. They are very slowly paced. It runs like shit. Those games run like shit.
I've heard Platinum, because I've never played any Gen 4 game, because that's the Pokemon Gen that I skipped. I've heard Platinum did an amount to alleviate those problems.
Yes. It's not perfect.
I don't know what that amount is, but it was, like, appreciated.
Yeah. Platinum's not awful. Platinum is a pretty okay game. Platinum's good. Diamond and Pearl is bad. Like, go back and play Diamond and Pearl. You will be like, oh, okay, John, you're right. Just trust me. The music is fantastic. Like, I was talking to people on Twitter, because I said, oh, those games are bad. No, the music is fucking fantastic. The music is some of the best in the entire series. I don't know if I'd say it is the best, but it's some of the best.
Yeah.
But those games have aged like shit. And, I mean, if they did a Diamond and Pearl remake, I'd be all for it. Because they need to, all that shit would be fixed with a remake.
So Sinnoh was the one that was the first and only one until this generation, was the one that I actually caught every Pokemon and filled the Pokedex with. Because I had such a great time combining all of the different games that you had to combine to get Diamond and Pearl's Pokedex filled. You had to go to the Game Boy Advance, and you had to go to Pokemon Coliseum, and you had to go move Pokemon between 3 or 4 different games to get all of the Pokemon in there. It was cool as hell. I also liked the escalation from Hoenn. Hoenn had, Pokemon that formed land and formed water and, apocalyptic Pokemon. Going from that to Pokemon that controlled time and space was cool as hell to me. And that was really what got me through those games, was just that idea alone. I love Sinnoh, and I want to see a remake of it.
I'm fine with that.
I bet if I were to go play them now, though, it would be a little bit of a slog.
It would. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. Here's another question about something that I hate.
Uh-oh.
I think someone was just reading my Twitter account. Anonymous asks, would Pleasantville make a good video game? I'm thinking a sweary-esque mystery where you explore the town. No, wouldn't, because Pleasantville fucking sucks.
Pleasantville? I don't know if I remember this.
That's a Ron Howard movie about Tobey Maguire getting sucked into a 1950s TV show, and he teaches them how to be in color by having them not be 1950s anymore.
Oh.
And they showed it to us every fucking year in high school.
Oh no.
That's wild.
That's a good way to get you to hate a movie.
Oh, I hate it. It's bad.
Also, it sounds like Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 films I remember watching in high school a lot. One was Remember the Titans.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
That
was in middle school too.
Okay.
The other one I don't remember.
I'm gonna place my head on your hand right now, or my hand on your head right now. I'm gonna absorb this. It was Gattaca, right?
No.
Fuck, because Gattaca was the other one. Gattaca was the other one that they showed over and over again.
You watched Gattaca in high school a bunch of times?
Here's the asterisk here.
Okay.
I don't remember the title. I just remember the premise.
All right, what was the premise?
The premise was inner city's high school in some city. Math teacher is hired as a replacement for a teacher who quits or whatever. Math teacher. This is high end calculus math for inner city kids who have a lot of problems because society is a hellscape and these kids have been disenfranchised and disadvantaged and aren't really keen on learning calculus, Is
this a very Black and Latino school? Is that the cast that they're kind of going with?
Is it Dangerous Minds?
Whoa.
I don't know. But all I remember is like the teacher ends up like, no, it's not Dangerous Minds.
Okay.
All I remember is like, because the teacher's like a middle-aged like glasses wearing dude, and all I remember is like he ends up like getting through to them, and there's a part where it's like they have to take a test inside like a library, and like he's telling them things like don't wear clothes with too many pockets because they'll like don't give them any excuse to like mark you as like, oh, you were cheating, so we have to fail you for the SAT or whatever.
Oh.
And it ends with like them going through all the like kids and what happened to them, and like the coolest part is like one of the kids, Angel, who is like the fucking the boss dude who was like I fucking rule this school or whatever, and I hate everybody. And
was
he gets
it
a fucking like
Deliver?
Perfect score or whatever. What?
Was it Stand and Deliver?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's Stand and Deliver.
Yep.
Yes, it's Stand and Deliver.
200 points for John.
Yeah, that was the other one we would see a lot. I knew it had like Stand in the name, and my mind is always like, oh, that's the movie Stand By Me, and I'm like, it's not the movie Stand By Me. I promise you, it has Stand in it, but
just Stand and Deliver. I am extremely ashamed to admit that I found that out because once you mentioned the glasses, I remember that there was a South Park thing where they made fun of it. That's how I remembered that.
Well, South Park makes fun of everything to nobody's benefit.
And it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, but I just remember that bit because I'm pretty sure that there were teachers that thought that was funny, and they probably like showed that clip where they were like, isn't this funny? Look at this. He's like a teacher, like me. But they weren't thinking about how it was like making fun of, how like, I mean, a bunch of shit that shouldn't be made fun of. It's a lot of layers that, if you think about it for 10 minutes, it's like they probably shouldn't be making fun of this. Because, I mean, hell, a lot of those movies are even kind of like not great anyway, because it's just like preying on people's preconceptions on inner city people and like,
absolutely,
young Black and Hispanic people, and like, oh, they're all just troublemakers, and that's why they're not getting a good education. It's like, no.
I haven't watched Stand and Deliver in a long time. I feel like they did a pretty good job of like humanizing the students, but again, it's been like fucking ages, and also it's like a late 80s film, and also we live in a hellscape, so
we didn't ask for culture. Culture happened to us.
It's layers. It's layers, and yeah.
It's layers.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, there would not be a good Pleasantville game. Swery should just make other games and should question the people that he's friends with a little bit better, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yep.
All right. Anonymous asks, I've watched so much Murder, She Wrote that I can only relate to characters over 50. So are there any video games primarily starring old people?
Shoutouts to the old people in Pokemon, because there's more of them now, and they're great. Sun and Moon had...
Hey, Mustard's old.
Yep, Mustard's now there.
Got a new one.
What's his name? Haku? Or no, not Haku. What's the police guy in Sun and Moon? Nanu.
Yeah, he's Nanu.
The very disenfranchised, doesn't want to do anything. Nanu's awesome.
Nanu whips ass.
He's Kabu.
And Kabu, that's right.
A lot of foxy grandpas.
Lot of DILFs in these games. I respect it.
But like starring like an older person.
Mm-hmm. I mean, MGS4. We could just get that out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the big ones.
You get to have a grandpa fist fight at the end of that game.
God.
Like, it's very good.
I am fond when games allow me to create old people.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really fun playing as like an elderly woman in Bloodborne and beating the shit out of people.
Yep, that's what I did.
I think Kiryu's in his like early 50s by the time Yakuza 6 rolls around. Did I say 60s? Yeah. I meant 50s. Yeah, he's in his 50s by the time Yakuza 6
rolls. He said 50s.
Okay. I said a 6 afterwards, so my brain got a little mixed up. But
yeah,
he's in his early 50s, I think, around Yakuza 6.
That's a lot of games you have to get through before you get to old Kiryu, but he gets there.
And I mean, he looks exactly the same, so it's not that different.
I just thought of the best game that stars an old person, and it's Nier.
Yes.
It's Nier Gestalt.
That's a good answer.
Nier. That game rules, and
Papa Nier, yeah.
Papa Nier is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I had a better idea just now.
Yeah?
Yeah?
They should let you make old people in Animal Crossing.
Yes!
Okay.
That's a perfect, like, game for everybody. Get the old people in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make an old person. and have like a cool little garden.
This stuff's a low impact, I feel like they might ask you to do a few less activities, like, oh, you don't have to deliver my fucking shirts across town.
No, I think you can still do that. It doesn't have to mechanically change anything.
You can still just do stuff.
Just a little cosmetics that can let you be an old person. Because I think I would love to play as an old person in Animal Crossing.
All right, okay, you're right. I shouldn't stereotype. You're right.
Well, I don't think Animal Crossing is necessarily even that high impact of a game to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think about how I play Animal Crossing, and I just think about how
you play Animal Crossing.
I book it everywhere I go.
You're really excited for that pole crossing rivers and stuff.
I mean, I think I said it last episode, but I'm like 90% sure I'm not even going to buy this Animal Crossing because I realized when I played New Leaf that like I just don't really get anything from those games anymore. So I think I'm fine. I don't need it.
So my thing related to playing as elderly people is some elderly people and some not elderly people use canes to assist in walking, and walking with a cane fucking rules. Regardless of whether you need it to actually like stabilize yourself or you just have it as like a accessory. Like canes rule.
Yep.
I am tired of games giving me canes and sticks and like staves and whatever, and not having my character animated so that when I walk with the stick out, they use it like a cane. And I think like having that, like if I'm going to play like an elderly person in Animal Crossing, get like a little cane that I can like fucking like Mr. Rhyme my way around.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, if I have to run, well, then they pick up the cane and they just book it.
Wait, I don't.
Tortimer's got a cane.
I don't like Mr. Rhyming my way around places. I don't like that.
Just gonna skip and have my cane out. Like
True.
I want cane walking animations.
Yep.
Sure. And
also
quick shout
wheelchairs.
out. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Also, quick shout out to another extremely powerful elderly person, Leroy Smith in Tekken 7.
Oh, yeah.
So strong that people are complaining about him, and he's old, and I think he's blind too. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, he's gonna fucking clean your clock.
Doesn't
no
he
matter
also
what.
have a cane? Like in the art?
Yes, he uses a cane. I don't think he uses it when he's fighting, but like in his like intro and outro, he uses it to walk around it. He's also got his dog. He's got his dog Sugar, which is very good.
Aww.
Yeah, his Sugar's just like this fucked up looking like pit bull kind of thing, and it's just adorable. And the best part is that you can like one of Leroy's moves is like calling Sugar out to like ram your opponent, but every once in a while Sugar just won't do it because it just won't feel like it. Very much like a dog.
Nah. Where's my treats?
It's very good. It's very good.
I want to echo Skull's sentiment though. More prosthesis in games, especially in with characters. Lots of different ways that you can add prosthetics to make your characters so much more that are really fun. Canes are one of those things. Just ways that people can navigate the world in radically different ways that empower them to do different things. Wheelchairs are also one of those things that if you're a person in a wheelchair, you have a new way of looking at the world that who has a really good character for this? Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium, one of the first characters you meet is this woman in a wheelchair, and I asked her onto an adventure, and she was thinking about it last I talked to her. We're gonna solve a murder together. She's gonna be part of my superstar cop team. She's not. She was very much like, that's sweet, dear.
But also put wheelchairs in Animal Crossing too. It fit perfectly.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm saying though. Those kinds of prosthetics that you can enhance your body and do different stuff with is so important and can add so much to your game.
Absolutely. One last question. Again, send it to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Anonymous asks, why does a bear get to be water type, but an octopus doesn't?
Octillery is a water type.
I think they are thinking about Malamar.
I know what they're thinking about, Jonna, but I'm going to be a shitter for this question.
You've got your octillery.
If you want a water octopus, you can go to Octillery. Graplock is not here for your sass.
Wow.
Graplock will beat you down. Have you seen those?
Graplock's water fighting, right?
No, just fighting.
Yep.
Really?
It's mono fighting.
All right.
It chose to have better typing. Somehow it avoided a water typing, even though it doesn't quite make sense and does definitely swim in water when you encounter it.
Yeah, it does.
You know what? I want Graplocked to be fighting type. The first ever.
Double weak to flying? Is that what you're trying to say?
But double stab, though. That's triple stab and double weakness.
Triple stab and double weakness?
God. All right. I think we've had enough here. All right. Yeah, thanks so much for listening, everybody, to our train wreck of a podcast. And thank you, everyone who doesn't particularly care for Pokemon, for putting up with our conversation. If you want to follow us, just go to our website, videogamechoochoo.com. There's plenty of content posted all the time. We have the newest episode of Spyro the Dragon, the Let's Play that me and Rose do, or Rose and I should say. We just put up episode 11. And the newest episode of the Sekiro Let's Play that Solon, you, and Scott do is on episode 3. That's up on Patreon. Yeah. That seems like it's a real fuck freak fest.
Scott's doing what Scott do.
Scott's doing what he does.
He's doing it really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Of course, don't forget, we also have our Twitter, at VGCC, our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. We have our Twitch, where Solon, you are always streaming. That is twitch.tv/VGChoochoo. Yep. That's every Sunday. Unless, something happens, but, that's fine. Yep. We have our Discord server, which is the GameZone.zone. Just come and hang out. It's a great time. There's plenty of super nice people to chill with. It's not that hectic. If you want a nice, chill Discord server where, it's not constantly popping off, but there's a good amount of folks hanging out, that's the place you want to go. Of course, I want to shout out Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic's Real. If you want to listen to more Melt Channel, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com. Or if you want to listen to their new stuff, it's Magic Circuit on Spotify. If you like real chill beats and airy female vocals, that's where you want to go. If you are aware of the YouTuber Neanners, she does the vocals for Magic Circuit, and they're really good. Neanners is a great singer, so check that out. And that should be it. I'm not forgetting anything.
I think you got all the beats.
All right, wonderful. Okay, and thank you so much, and we will be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choochoo podcast. So long.
Goodbye, everybody. Stay safe.